your teaching attendings. Next, I have the joy of introducing Dr. Blair Wiley, the Division Director of Maternal Fetal Medicine, who will share some fun facts and present Dr. Tooba Anwer with her diploma. Thanks, Blair.
Thank you, Yvonne. It is my great pleasure and privilege to kick off our celebration of the graduate diploma part of this ceremony today by speaking in honor of Dr. Tooba Anwer, an exceptional human being that I am fortunate to count as both a colleague and friend. I want to first start by welcoming some special guests in the audience today, Tooba's family, and maybe we can move to slide 1. There we go, Tooba's family. To her parents, Khurshid and Zareen, thank you first for falling in love and blessing us with the gift of Tooba. As I understand, we owe much of what makes Tooba special to the two of you. To her father, Dr. Anwer, a PhD researcher with a focus on developing novel cancer therapeutics, we owe Tooba's love of science and dedication to the greater good. She fondly describes that when she was a little child, you would take her to your lab and have her play with boxes of pipettes and other lab equipment in the background. I also understand that we in the larger world owe you thanks for your current work in developing additional COVID vaccines, so thank you. To her mother, Zareen, Tooba describes gratitude for your emphasis on education and insisting that she and her sister work hard and shoot for any dream, or any woke dream, I should say now. And I'm told Tooba's calm and happy-go-lucky personality was inherited from you. I'm also wondering how the rest of us can partake in your infamous air-sealed Pakistani food care packages that Tooba still receives with joy to this day. And a special welcome to Tooba's sister, Charmine. I will admit I did have a hard time telling the two of you apart in the shared family pictures. Tooba describes you as the cooler and funnier Anwer sister, the one who would get Tooba into trouble, but then use your power of persuasion to get the two of you out of trouble with your parents. Skills I understand you're putting to use as a civil liberties lawyer now. Thank you for making sure that Tooba was not too serious. And now on to Tooba's journey to today. Next slide. Oop, go back one. We were fortunate to recruit Tooba from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where she received both her undergraduate degree in neuroscience and subsequently her medical degree. Some highlights of her time at UAB that the wider audience may be unaware of: Tooba won many awards while at medical school, a 4-year merit scholarship. She was unsurprisingly president of the Gold Humanism Society, and established a new program called the Moments That Haunt Us to prevent burnout and build emotional intelligence for medical students, creating a safe space for students to discuss both the inspiring and troubling situations that they find themselves in on the medical wards. She also served as vice president of her medical school class and still made time to volunteer at a number of local organizations in Birmingham. Highlights from her letters of recommendation to residency: genuine, sincere, unpretentious, exceptional communicator, meeting people where they are, warm, approachable, optimistic, calm, destined for greatness. I think all of these things we can recognize in Tooba's years with us. But perhaps the most lasting success of medical school was meeting her husband, Bilal, on the very first day. He tells a sweet story of taking her on a drive to cleverly ask her about her dreams for the future as a plant to reveal his intent to include her in his. Tooba's response was, "I dream that together with my law student sister, that we will create a facility that will provide free medical and legal assistance to those who need it." He knew in that moment that she was a keeper. Next slide. Residency. What a privilege it has been for us to have Dr. Anwer with us for these past 4 years. All of us, faculty, co-residents, nurses, patients, have benefited tremendously from her warmth, her compassion, and her tireless advocacy for patients. One of my most vivid first memories of Tooba was at an L&D leadership meeting where she was serving as the residency representative. A faculty member raised the question of whether we could purchase a commercial product for assistance with retraction and cesarean deliveries. I made an offhand, probably snarky comment about its high price and lack of evidence. And within a few weeks, without my prompting, Tooba had designed a randomized control trial to assess the use of the Traxi and completed the IRB application. This study was then chosen as the first award for a Harvard-wide obstetrics trial group. Given the number of recommendations from GYN oncologists and her childhood experience working in her dad's lab, it's hard to believe that the discipline of MFM was fortunate enough to tempt her away from oncology. It's not surprising to me that she was chosen in a very competitive process as one of SMFM's Quilligan Scholars, a program that provides national mentorship to promising residents expressing an interest in MFM. MFM is not always joyful, but it is always poignant. And I have no doubt that Dr. Anwer will be an extraordinary MFM. Shortly, she will be leaving our fold here at BIDMC to start her fellowship at the Brigham and Women's Hospital. Tooba, we will miss you, but remember we are only a few steps away. Thank you for all you have done these past 4 years. You are the epitome of what we all aspire to be as physicians. The perfect combination of intellectual curiosity, research aptitude, superb clinical skills, and sense, all wrapped up into a passionate and idealistic individual. And from my heart, a special thanks to this entire class. I started at BIDMC only a few weeks behind you and feel a special bond to each of you. I am immensely proud of you all. I will turn it now to, we will present the diploma, and I will turn it now to Dr. Young.
Thank you, Dr. Wiley, for that wonderful speech for Dr. Anwer.